spite of the glare.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Mr. Armstrong, I do realize that when you were on the moon, you had very little time for gazing upwards. But could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon? The sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon.
Just to remind you, like, this is the girl who has like the most up-to-date script. I asked her in person like a year or two ago, and she says, not even not even a year ago, maybe. Yeah, it's under a year ago, and she says, this is the current script, I guess, that they're supposed to say. She says, yeah, they look just like they do on the Earth, except they don't twinkle.
The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible.
You don't see stars in the daytime on Earth, not because they're not there, but because the atmosphere is aglow with scattered light from the sun. If you take away the atmosphere, the sun will still be there, but the sky goes dark. That's what the folks get when they go to the edge of the atmosphere, and they're calling that the edge of space. But when you get to the edge of the atmosphere is no longer between you and the rest of the universe, and the stars reveal themselves just as they would at night. Since the moon has no atmosphere, then a daytime picture, if you're there in the daytime of the moon, you see a full night sky of stars, even with the sun in the sky as well. But when you get to the edge of the atmosphere, the stars reveal themselves just as they would at night. If you're there in the daytime of the moon, you see a full night sky of stars, even with the sun in the sky as well.
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon.
Because you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
It's not
That's the
black
cool
and
thing.
white. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
There's all the stars there. And the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
Yeah, you know, actually, my very first mission, we went up, and when you're in space and you're looking into deep space and you're on the sun side of the orbit, the sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars, just like here on Earth. But then when you look out into deep space away from the sun, it's the darkest black you can imagine.
Because you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars. The cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
And when you're in space and you're looking into deep space and you're on the sun side of the orbit, the sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars, just like here on Earth.
There's all the stars there. And the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
They're brighter, but they're different. A lot of things different about one. You don't have the atmospheric distortion, so they don't twinkle right. So you see lots of points, and you see lots of points, and then literally millions of them.
See, so all of them, including the astronaut IS, they got that talking point down, right? Like, they don't twinkle because the reason they twinkle is because of the atmosphere, right? And like, yeah, I mean, I think there's pulsating orbs of light anyway, but.
Colorado, you get up on a clear night in Colorado up in the mountains where there's no light and you can see all these stars. Well, multiply that by 1,000. That's what it's like in space. And then when you're outside doing a spacewalk and you have that one or two opportunities where you can let your eyes adjust, you can start to notice that some of the stars have colors we don't see here on the ground.
I think we cannot see stars.
The sky, of course, was black, but it had sort of a velvet sheen to it. The biggest visual surprise.
How is that dude not clearly just making up a story, bro?
Not see stars.
The sky, of course, was black, but it had sort of a velvet sheen to it. The biggest visual surprise was just how black the sky was. You have a brilliant sun, brighter than any sun you normally would see even here in New Mexico. You have these extraordinarily high mountains. We were in a valley deeper than the Grand Canyon. But then you have this black sky, a sky blacker than black. As the old Vidicon expression used to be.
Just the inherent beauty of it, the velvet, bottomless bucket of the universe.
In like just hanging there in a vast sea of darkness, and the most frightening darkness that you could ever imagine.
I've often tried to explain a different.
Yeah, so body language expert would say you can tell he's lying. He has to look down. He's thinking in his mind, imagining making the story in his mind as he tells it because he's lying. Watch him when he looks down. He's thinking about his story that he's making up and painting.
In like just hanging there in a vast sea of darkness, and the most frightening darkness that you could ever imagine.
I've often tried to explain the difference between darkness when you turn out the lights and it's dark in here.
If you zoom in, there's remnants of green screen, right? Like, why is this there? Why is there green here? Like, that should be a clear sign to you. Number two, we're told that the moon rotates.
Hey, can someone tell me why there's green outlining the moon? Supposedly a real picture. Bro, not only is this the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen and clearly not real, just on his face. Pun intended. Look at the green outline, bro. You gotta be kidding me. I think it's so crazy for so many of us to see this and we're just like, bro, no way. That someone faked that, claimed it was NASA. No way. That's the fakest thing I've ever seen. And there's a group of people that like start like putting all their energy into believing it's real, and that's what it really looks like out in what they really believe is space. It's so weird.
It goes around Earth, right, with this Helios nonsensical model. But there's no sign of rotation. It looks like
that's just cosmic moss.
It's a two-dimensional object that slides across the screen. But the other problem is, you know, we call it the dark side of the moon, not because it's dark, because we never see it, right? We only see 50% of the moon. But here, the whole Earth was lit up, right?
RW, shout out to you, brother, being $15.
It was lit up by the sun.
Exactly. Why is the moon not lit up? It's dark side because it's dark for our vantage point, right? Is the Earth not lit up right here? Does that mean that the sunlight's not coming to the Earth right there? So is there supposedly a shadow right there on the moon? Right around the green screen? Where's the shadow from? Where's the light from? Why is this not bright? Isn't there no atmos? Isn't that just reflecting off of no atmos? You know, by the way, Earthshine would be incredibly bright. Actually, it would be much more bright. I have a scientist breaking it down. Mark Roses, can't wait for the audits. What's it? Hey, thank you for the $25 tip. Shout out to you. There's a scientist that breaks down how Earthshine would actually be much brighter than Moonshine. But anyway, like, does anyone have an answer as to why this moon's not lit up? It's not bright at all. It's like dark. It's not called the dark side of the moon because it's literally just dark. It's because we don't see it. The light has to be coming from that direction to light up the Earth, though. So many stars, yeah, I know, right? They're like, and there are people that are like, they're cool with it. They're like, whatever, I don't want to see stars. Like, you're coping, bro. How could you think this is real? I literally don't know. This is the worst one I think they've ever put out. That's saying a lot. Maybe not the worst. I don't know. It's so bad.
And
it really looks fake. Dude, they don't even claim it's CGI. Yeah, because CGI. They claim this is real. They do not claim this is CGI. NASA claims this is real pictures.
It's daylight here, so the moon should be lit up. The moon at night looks like this. You know, sometimes brighter. Sometimes it's even brighter than this. But this is what you
also look how focused the Earth is, and the moon is muddy and blurry. Yeah, exactly. Like the moon's not near as focused. Supposedly it has tons of craters and stuff, right? But like the Earth is super focused, but the moon's not. The moon's in the foreground in front of the Earth and not lit up. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, and there's green around it, bro. And there's a shadow, which means they're saying the light is coming from the opposite way. And it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.